y'all.
Well, we think we've gathered everything we need for this, but you know how that goes.
Well, then we were reading through the instructions for the Play-Doh, the stress relieving dough, as we're calling it. And we do have to heat it up a little bit too, just so we know. And then we also have to you're making like colored water so that it's going to color the dough. Yeah. So that's the only other. So again, food coloring. Those of you that if you grab food coloring, you don't have that for some reason. We were discussing even anything that you might have. Probably most of you might not have beets, but you could also use beet juice. Even Kool-Aid packets. If anybody even still uses those, I don't even know. But you know the ones that you add the sugar to, because those will color things really well too. So those are just a couple ideas. And if you don't have it, then your Play-Doh will just be the color just white. It'll just be because of the flour, the salt. What's in that? Sugar. I forget. I've looked at
Kimberly Smith
so many times.
How was Hawaii today?
Nice.
Yeah.
How much time are they different?
I think it's 6 hours.
So they're 6 hours ahead?
Earlier.
Okay,
so it would be about noon there.
Noon 30. Is
that right, Kim?
Noon 30.
I don't know if she's actually watching.
Yes. Yes. Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
All right.
So it's a little bit, I don't know what y'all's weather's like, but it's a little bit chillier here in Tennessee today. Just a little bit.
Will try as we go through to remember to give you amounts on ingredients, but we'll also post recipes.
Yeah. We just had to do a little playing with the slime recipe. We haven't made it. And Carol and I on purpose don't make stuff ahead of time because we want to kind of walk it through with you to do that. So that is why we don't have it down to a true art at this point. So, okay.
You want a saucepan? Yes. Okay. We're going to go ahead and get started.
Okay, so we're doing the Play-Doh first. Okay, so we've got the saucepan. Okay.
Do you think, I guess it's okay like this.
So we don't see ourselves, but that's fine. Or they can't see us either. What are you saying?
I'm trying to decide whether I need to make that go full screen so when it records it's full screen and they can see the screen better. Or whether I should leave it like this.
I do.
Because it will record however we see it.
Yeah, we might need to.
Yeah.
Or hang on this, yeah. I really prefer to see you all.
Yeah.
And we can
still see some of you.
We can see a little bit of you.
Scroll back and forth.
Okay.
And you all know that there's the chat option there for us too. Okay. Let's turn chat on. And then, I can see if they're still. Okay. We had to do things differently this time because Zoom has changed things up a little bit, although I've still never gotten official notice about that. But you might have noticed we had to put you in a waiting room when we first got started. So that's what that was about. All right.
Hey, Katrina.
Hey, Katrina. Okay, so we're going to do 2 cups of flour.
Okay.
We're putting all of this in is that right? All ingredients except for the oils in a saucepan. Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to do that right there because we got to do the colored water. So let me do.
Does it tell you how to do colored water?
No, I'm just going to have to. No, it just says.
Don't you think it would be best to heat the water? Will it color better?
I don't know. Anybody know? I mean, I don't know that you color, I mean, I guess the water, but I always thought that was more for the vinegar.
Okay.
I'm going to try it.
Just go ahead. I mean, yeah, just go ahead like it.
Yes. Oh, but you know what? Hang on. If we're going to, one moment while we figure, okay, so those of you that have the recipe, I talked to a couple of you about halving the recipe and having 2 different things, which I guess we can do. It'll just be the same color.
Yeah.
So, okay, never mind. All right.
So she's making colored water, and I'm putting 2 cups.
Doesn't that sound profound?
Colored water. Like water into wine. Water into colored water.
Yeah.
And then 2 cups of flour. We're putting this all in a saucepan, Katie, so that, because you're following along with this. Okay. And then we got to have a cup of salt. So Amy has the mega box of salt.
Yeah. What color do we do? You don't have red, right? Because I was going to do pink.
I thought we were going to do yellow and then make it orange or citrus plus flavor.
Okay. Of the Play-Doh we did?
Yeah. Okay. Because I don't have any red.
Okay. We're going to do yellow.
Okay. So cup of salt. Cup of salt.
And I have my 2 cups of water, and I just put about 5 drops of food coloring in it, and that's what I'm looking to see if I like the color of it.
Denise is asking if we can show the counter. I don't know if we can make that happen or not. Let me see.
Oh,
yep, there we
oh,
go.
Even better. Now our faces on.
Yep.
That's lovely. Okay. So here's what I did. See the yellow? So that was about 5 or 6 drops of food coloring, yellow food coloring in the 2 cups of water. Okay. So I kind of like that. It's a nice kind of bright.
Well, it'll lighten up because we're putting it with white stuff, but.
Do you think it needs more then?
Maybe a little bit.
Okay.
But I'm just guessing.
So I did 5 drops. So now I have 8. I did 8 drops of the food coloring.
And then it calls for a tablespoon of olive oil. I would imagine that you could use grapeseed or flaxseed or any other kind of oil, but it calls for olive oil. And it was a tablespoon, right? Yeah, 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Oh, we're gonna have a problem.
What?
I need another tablespoon because I can't put the cream of, oh, that's a teaspoon. Never mind.
Okay. You got all that? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, and then it's calling for a teaspoon of cream of tartar.
Which we thought was a little bit, and let me tell you guys, cream of tartar is a hot commodity these days.
Apparently.
There was
Lots
none.
of people are making snickerdoodles or something.
There was none at the store. None, and none on Amazon. So yeah, so Carol found some in her cupboard. So
well, I could have gotten a 2-pound box of cream of tartar, but
we're not making that much Play-Doh. Okay, so this is the cream of tartar. You need a little.
Teaspoon of cream of tartar.
Yep. Where do you want a wooden spoon?
No, I want the plastic because I don't want it to. I've got it right here.
Oh, you got it.
Okay. Okay. Is that all?
Yeah, and then this water.
Oh yes, we have to add the water.
So okay, we're gonna do that.
It says combine all the ingredients except for the oils in a large saucepan and stir until it's combined.
I'm gonna start stirring all up.
Sure.
I just don't know how it's gonna. And I didn't want to get yellow stuff all over. Oh, I like this color.
It's gonna be a real light yellow.
All right. How's it going, Katie?
Stirring, stirring. We can have our own cooking show after this.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Do you need to put it on?
Not yet. It says stir it until it's combined.
Okay. Oh,
once combined, put it over medium heat.
Combined. Okay. Once combined, put over medium heat. Okay. And then we're going to stir it over the heat. Okay. And then it's going to turn into a ball on the heat.
I'll do that while you make. Do you want to do the slime or do you want to do the scrub or what do you want to do next?
We'll talk about the spray while she's doing
that.
Oh,
sure. Take the easy way.
No, not that, because I thought you would want to do the other stuff because it's going to be a little bit funner, I think, than the spray. The spray's pretty easy. So, those of you, we have the recipe for a spray, like that helping kiddos sleep. And so Carol's moving to the stove. I'm gonna put this back up.
Again, we're just continuing to stir this over medium heat, and then it's supposed to form a ball. And we stop once it forms the ball, Katie.
Okay. So that's what she's doing. So you know that we have the recipe for the spray. I'm trying I don't want to rush too much because I know we've got one mama on here with 2 littles and so I'm sure she's trying to do all that. So that's a little bit tricky. But so we have our little spray bottles, and the name for this was what was it?
There was a Sleepy Time spray.
Yeah, there were 2 different, and it kind of depends on what you wanted to call it. I liked Sleepy Time, Sweet Dreams. The other name was called Monster something, which I wasn't sure that that's what you wanted to call it to even put that thought in. So you can call it whatever you want. But it has, I'm trying to find the recipe. So you take one of our little, a spray bottle. This is one of our glass spray bottles, and you put lavender. I think this recipe called for lavender, patchouli, and Roman chamomile. But I did in the spray bottle that I started for, I did peace. I did peace oil, and then we're going to add the lavender to peace. So you can just find any of the calming oil that you have, and you drop those in. Sorry, I'm trying to find the recipe so I can tell you. Here we go. Exactly how many drops it's suggesting. I think it was 5 of each. But I'm trying to, 5 of each. So, and then you're just going to drop those in the spray bottle. So the oils, you've got your Serenity, lavender, whatever. We're going to just drop in 10 drops of each, whatever the oil that you choose, and then fill the rest with water, and then you're good to go. You could use this for a pillow spray, spraying down the sheets. We were on a call the other day, and somebody was on the call with us, and she said she had been changing the sheets on her bed while we were on the call, and she had just sprayed lavender on her bed. So again, lavender, those oils that we mentioned, peace, lavender, Roman chamomile, patchouli. Patchouli is not one that I normally think of as far as necessarily calming and sleeping, but obviously it is. Those are all the ones that we kind of tend to think of. Cedarwood is another one that is very calming and can help just calm down and sleep for most people. Now, there are always those kiddos that are just those, creative, one of a kind, and sometimes their body systems respond opposite. So those of you all know that when you have kiddos that sometimes certain medicines that were supposed to calm down actually did the opposite. So sometimes body chemistry is the same way with oils. So if you were to find that you had a child that lavender seemed to kind of wake up, maybe excite, you actually might try citrus oils, which seems funny because most of the time when we think of citrus oils, you kind of inhale them and they're just like, oh, I feel so good. And just kind of maybe gives you a boost of energy. But they can actually do that. And for a while, one of my favorite oils is Citrus Bliss. And for the longest time, I was afraid to put it in my diffuser at night because I was afraid that it would keep me awake. Well, then I realized when I put it in the diffuser, I smell it and it makes me like kind of happy, makes me feel good, and then I relax. So it kind of is the same concept. So just a tidbit, if lavender and those kind of oils don't seem to calm as much, you can, you could try the citrus oils as well. So
this is weird stuff.
Oh, Carol's saying it's weird stuff. I'm going to tell you.
Now, I'm supposed to, what's the next step?
The next step, one moment while I get back to what we're doing.
My arm.
Carol's back here working out her arm muscles. Okay, hang on. Sorry, I gotta find that when I was looking so fast for the.
Oh, you better hurry.
Oh no! No pressure. No pressure. Well, I'm assuming did you pick it up already off the thing? Gosh, Carol, where did it go?
I don't know. It was on the top of the pile when I left.
No, I don't know where it went either, guys. I'm so sorry. Hang on. Carol's like, hang on to what?
I'm assuming we put the oils in.
Yes.
Or dump it out on the parchment, but I don't know which one we do first.
I'm gonna say that here it is right here. Nope, that's the glitter glue. Why do I keep coming up with the slime?
Here, you start and I'll look.
Nice. Okay.
All right, we're swapping.
Oh yeah.
It's right here.
I thought there was a second page.
Okay.
I was looking for the second
Remove
page.
from the heat and glue it on parchment paper. Okay. Oh, darn it.
Do I have to get the parchment? There we go.
Okay. All right.
So then we're just plopping it on the parchment paper right now, and then it's supposed to cool. And then did we do the oils?
And then we add the oils.
Okay, after it cools a little bit. So, and I'm assuming you just leave it like that in the. Do not.
Does it what do the instructions?
Remove from heat.
There's one of us that reads instructions and one of us who doesn't.
I'm reading the instructions, but it said remove from heat and cool on parchment paper. My question was, did you leave it in the ball or do you leave it flatten it out? But I guess maybe you leave it in the ball because then it says once it's cool.
But I'm separating it into two.
Okay, it says once it's cool, then we'll add the essential oils and knead it into it. So yeah, we'll do it. Okay, so it's cooling. Can you all see it back there? See, it's cooling, and it's kind of a cool yellow. I like that. Oh,
it's almost just dough.
It kind of looks like sugar cookie dough, but I won't eat it because I won't like to eat it.
There's a whole lot of salt in there, so I would recommend it.
Okay. All right, so we talked about the spray. That one's pretty easy. We'll cover that again at the end for those of you that I know are making this as we go. How's Katie doing? I don't see her. Yeah.
She's over at the stove.
Yeah, she's trying to turn a Play-Doh.
Katie, just as an FYI, when I'm doing it, when I just now did it, it's like all of a sudden in a ball, and it says not to overcook it or it'll be too tough.
It's dry. Yeah. So
as soon as it forms the ball, I go ahead and
just
turn off
plop
the
it on the, pull it off the burner, and then plop it on the parchment. So a little bit. Okay, and we'll talk again about the spray at the end, but that was the easy one. That's just a few drops of oil in the water, but we'll come back to that in a second. So I'm just hating to move too much. Okay, then when we got to looking at the slime, those of you that were able to get your glitter glue.
Should we do the scrub next?
Yep, we'll do the scrub. Let's do
I'm
that.
just thinking that gives Katie the opportunity to finish up her stuff.
Let's do the scrub.
And I'm going to guess her boys aren't going to be quite as excited about
the scrub as they are the slime.
Yeah.
Hendrix, are you helping, Mom? I see the top of his head. Are you helping? You are?
Okay. She's stirring, I think he's saying.
He's talking.
No.
Oh, you're not helping?
He's talking to us.
I was talking.
Buddy, we can't hear you.
He's like,
you have to do sign language.
That's funny. Give me a thumbs up. Can you give me a thumbs up?
Mom doing okay?
He's like, okay. All right, so here we are. This is just like a bath scrub, which I always think are nice. And this one's pretty easy. So I'm getting to, so we got coconut oil, that I know. And this is an orange lemon scrub is what this one says. So it is, I hadn't looked at these. Okay, so half a cup of, hang on, let me pull it out so that it's out of the way. So we can do the slime. That's a combination of slug. Oh boy. Okay.
Hey, we got lots of new people. Miranda, Chris-Ann, Trina,
hey guys.
Tara.
So
Amy.
we are doing a DIY kids and adult stress relief stuff. So we're in the process of making Play-Doh, and it is cooling back here. We've talked a little bit about a nighttime spray, but right now we're getting ready to make a sugar scrub. So we need a half a cup of the coconut oil that we have to get a little bit soft.
I'll put it in the microwave.
So this is coconut oil, and we're using the stuff that's the solidified. Hang on, I'm going to tip this down so you can see what we're doing a little bit. Okay. So coconut oil.
This will be really good with the lemon and orange because it'll smell like lemon, orange, and coconut.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because this is, yeah. Okay, and here's what threw me a little bit. On this recipe, it calls for 1 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil. So I'm going to go ahead and put 2 in.
I think it said to add a tablespoon at a time somewhere that I read.
Okay, because when I got the list, I only got the ingredient list. I didn't get the directions, so that would make sense as to why it's like that. So okay,
I'm gonna go zap this in the microwave for just a few seconds to make it liquid.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and put the sugar in. So it's a cup of sugar into this bowl. Cup of sugar. Funny story, when we were doing a thing several years ago, we kind of did an event like a make and take kind of thing. And I'm gonna tip this back up because it feels funny when I can't see you. I'm talking to you. So we did an event where we were doing a make and take, and we were doing a sugar scrub that it had brown sugar and different things in it. Well, we had about 50 people at this event. Okay, so now it is a 1/4 cup of salt. I have a half a cup, so I'm just gonna put half of the half cup in. But we had about 50 people at this event. And so we, however, quadrupled the recipe, whatever it was. Well, just for the record, that did not work well. And we ended up with this sugar scrub that was all in a bunch, and we just couldn't figure out. We ended up stretching it, smoothing it out on parchment paper. And it did not end up in a scrub. It ended up like caramel. And so we just ate it. Yep. So it was literally
sugar scrub
it was
and
like
or snack.
Coconut oil and you could dump that in, I think. 1 to large bowl.
So keep adding sugar and salt.
Oh, 2. Add sugar and mix.
It's in the olive oil, tablespoon by tablespoon.
Yeah.
Use that less
Okay.
more.
So we're just adding all of this for the sugar scrub. So we have coconut oil. We have coconut oil, olive oil, which we're getting ready to put in, sugar, salt, and then we're going to stir all this together, and then we'll add the essential oils. This one calls for lemon and orange. I actually thought grapefruit would have been really yummy too. I'll move this out of the way.
Okay, we're supposed to stir this, it says?
Yep, stir that, and then we add the olive oil. Tablespoon by tablespoon. So I think we're just going to go
tablespoon by tablespoon because what? What are we looking for?
Again, I don't know. Adding sugar to increase coarseness. Sorry, trying to find the page that talks about the olive oil. Mix in the olive oil, teaspoon by tablespoon, using less or more if the texture is too coarse or too runny.
Okay, then I'm going to say we probably only need a tablespoon.
Yeah, I would say too, because this is pretty. See how it's pretty moist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the tablespoon.
So yeah. So again, sometimes you just improvise. So we just ate our scrub that night at our thing, and it was yummy.
And we had a good laugh.
Oh my word, people were dying laughing. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So orange and lemon is what we're going to do. Yeah. So it says 5 of each. So we're going to do 5 wild orange and 5 lemon. Hey, Katie, how is the Play-Doh going? She's like, I can't tell you. I'm standing at the stove stirring. It's probably. Oh. And if we hadn't had this crazy social distancing, I could have gone to her house and we could have done it from there.
Yeah.
Oh, it smells yummy.
Yeah, it does. Smells like a not a pina colada because you can really smell the lemon, but
it's yummy. But did I say I thought the grapefruit would have been yummy in that too. So is
that it?
Yeah. Yep. That's all. So for that scrub, pretty easy as far as that goes. And again, one of the things when we're doing stuff like this too is that knowing that all of these ingredients are fine for you to, they would be fine. I mean, we could take a big bite of this if we wanted. But they're fine for you to put on your skin. Obviously, knowing anything that you put on your skin goes into the body, right? So that's why we're careful about the things that we put on the body. And again, that's not something that I knew was familiar with at all when I started this journey 8 years ago. The thought, I just literally just didn't know that. We kind of think about that as far as what we breathe in. And I've mentioned to you all before that I spent a little bit of time growing up in California, and the smog is horrible in California. And so we had times as a child that we couldn't go out for recess because the smog was too bad. So you kind of get that understanding, but not necessarily the understanding that everything we put on our skin soaks in other words. And if you doubt that, we had a friend one time who they used oregano on the bottom of their feet, our oregano oil, and pretty soon they were burping oregano. Mm-hmm. So, and literally it just been on the bottom of their feet. So that says to you, obviously that really works. I'm gonna touch this stuff.
And you could also, if you wanted to, put some food coloring in that.
So you kind of see it on the hands. Feels nice.
This would make a nice Mother's Day gift.
Yeah.
If you guys have kids or grandkids that you want to do a little project with, that'd be great.
I need to rinse my hands off now, but yes, it's very nice. Very nice. And again, that would be something too where I just did it on my hands and then rinsing it off, and it feels really nice. But like if you decided to do grapefruit, you could do it pink, and the color it pink, that would be. Or do something too where you've got a couple oils and make it like kind of like pink lemonade. That would be yummy. So that was just the scrub. So pretty easy to do.
And this would be great for all the hand washing we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Oh man, it really feels nice. It does.
It really feels nice in the hands. So you've got a little bit of the scrub. It kind of scrubs off the thing, but then really feels like moisturizing too. So
nice. Brenda, yes, we are having fun. All right. Okay.
I'm going to move out some of our things that we've already done because it gets a little, we were just talking about how much we love Pinterest, but sometimes the thing on Pinterest that gets confusing is sometimes it's the whole story it gives you. And I'm like, listen, I just want the recipe. I don't have time to
hear
your whole story. So for those of you that are just jumping on, so far we have started the Play-Doh, or as we're calling it, the stress relieving dough. And it is, if you can see it back over here behind Carol, it is cooling at the moment. And then we haven't added the oil yet to it, the essential oil. We have done, it has flour, salt. I think we could probably, what else is in that, Carol? Flour, salt.
Cream of tartar.
Cream of tartar. I think baking Do we have baking soda in that? My recipes are running together because I don't have those in front of me.
No,
so
baking soda's in the slide.
Okay, so we also talked about the spray, the room bedtime spray that we have, and so we'll talk about that again too. I'm trying to spread out the stuff that's a little bit more labor intensive. So we just did the scrub, which is pretty easy. So you think we're ready to add the oil to the?
Well, we could, but I don't want to do that.
I know, and she's. Oh, I see a head. I'm trying to see if we can. Hey, Katie, how's the Play-Doh going?
We can unmute her.
Oh, hang on. We can unmute you so I can hear you. She's gonna be like, "Don't unmute me." Hang on. But I don't know how to do that. How do I do that, Carol? Are you coming? Okay, I think I can do it. Let's see. Oh, I see the screen's moving, so we're moving.
Okay.
Hey.
You're unmuted.
Hey.
Did it go?
Hi. No,
Hi.
we're good, but we had a guest show up, and so they're gone.
Oh, okay.
We lost the children.
But I'm still working on it because they'll be mad if they don't have it later.
Okay.
So the Play-Doh, is yours still cooling?
Yes, on the stove. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So have you plopped it on the parchment paper yet, or the wax paper?
I have not.
You haven't yet? Okay. Okay. So if you're done stirring it, it like comes into a ball. Then you just need to plop it on something so that. And then what you'll want to do is separate it into two things while it's cooling, so that you can make two different flavors. So. Gonna be Katie, just so you can hear me. I will help you at the end if we need to go back and do some more. So don't panic. Just once you take it off the stove, separate it into two sections so that they can cool, and then we'll do two different flavors. Okay. All right. So now we're gonna do slime. Oh boy, here we go. Now this was a little bit confusing because it didn't give us the measurements in this recipe. So we had to Google.
It didn't give us the measurements for glue. It gave us the measurements for everything else.
Yeah, not the glue. So we're like, okay, so then it was like 8 ounces of glue, and we're like, okay, well, surely these are 8 ounces. They're 6. So we had to adjust all that. So
but let me just say, this comes from another essential oil company's recipe. So
yeah. So anywho. So we're gonna make some slime. Let's do purple slime since doTERRA is purple. Yep. Okay. I have to get a drink.
Okay. It says pour glue into the last mixing bowl.
Oh.
This gives me a little bit of anxiety.
Putting glue in a bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In one of my bowls. Hey, Beth.
Oh goodness. Okay.
Okay. So
Beth, this is right up your alley. Now we're making slime.
So right up your alley.
For those of you that are joining us late and we need to do this again, we'll create another Zoom call and we'll all do it together. See how much fun we're having? You all are missing out. So, okay. This was weird though, because the recipe is the glitter glue, and then it's baking soda and contact lens solution. Isn't that funny? So this is a funny story. When I messaged Katie and I said, hey, do you have contact lens solution? And she's like, no, but I can run to the store and get you some, because she thought I was asking because I needed some. So I said, no, we need it for slime. So we don't know how this is gonna turn out. And again, like we said, so then the recipe that sorry, I'm gonna put this down so you can see. So then the recipe calls for, it was 5 ounces, right, Carol?
Yeah.
5 ounces, and so the bottles are 6 ounces. So
how do you do that?
we're gonna adjust a little bit too, so you all can, I feel like I need to do this.
I know.
So we all
That's
can.
all right.
So
my hair hit the mark today where it's like, yeah, no.
Are you using that? You want to use a spatula again for that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's right there. Make sure it's rinsed off really good so it doesn't have any of the oil left on it.
That's what I'm doing right now. I'm rinsing off the spatula so we can use the same. For some reason, Carol doesn't want to use her nice wooden spoons to do any of this craziness with. Okay. And then, I need to get a different tablespoon because this one has oil in it. All right, so we rinse that off. I'm gonna do it for wood. So we decided to use the purple. And would you assume that you could just use any glue?
I would assume so. I think they
ours is just going to end up being, I'm assuming we could use any glue. See, guys, I have to be able to see you. So we're using the glitter. So we got that. And now we're gonna do a heaping. It calls for a half of a tablespoon of baking soda, but we're gonna do a heaping since we had an extra ounce of the glue. And we're going to hope and pray that it works. So, what are you looking for, Carol?
Another tablespoon.
Oh, your other tablespoons? I can rinse off and then, okay, got it?
No.
Oh.
Why don't you sing for them?
Sing? She goes, why don't you sing for them? No. Hopefully you all had a good Easter yesterday. It was kind of weird, wasn't it, though? Hang on. I got to set this back up now. Okay. Hopefully you all had a good Easter. I know it's kind of weird, wasn't it? But it was kind of nice. But we've discovered, for those of you that go to church on a regular basis, it's kind of weird because it's just different to worship at home, like corporate, wise, because, we can all worship at home. You're singing, Bible study, whatever, but it just is different to not be in the same place with everybody. Okay, I'm going to just hold it up. We're going to do the heaping half tablespoon, of baking soda.
Okay. So I'm going to have to do it this.
Hang on. Yeah. So we poured the glue in, and now we're mixing in the baking soda, which we're doing, like we said, the heaping half tablespoon, because
I'm going to do it this way because I've got, this is a teaspoon, which means I need a teaspoon and a half and a little bit more.
You mean tablespoon? This is a
tablespoon is 3 teaspoons.
Yes. Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. We're going to do that. And then it says, after we're done doing this, we're going to mix it with a plastic spoon. Well, we're going to use the spatula. Okay. And then it tells us to slowly add the contact lens solution, which is right here.
And it says about 3 tablespoons, right?
Well, but then when we adjusted it, we said a tablespoon.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. This is fun. Look at this, guys.
We can tip it back down and it would be easier.
I know, but I feel like that is weird. Oh, hang on, I'll tip it down.
You're fine.
I feel like we got
It says gradually do it.
Slowly add contact lens solution.
And it says it's about a tablespoon. Is that what we decided?
Yeah, so we're just going to add a little bit at a time. Okay? Okay. So we just added that, and now we're going to stir. Continue mixing in the bowl until the glue has clumped together and is no longer sticking to the sides of the bowl. Add more contact solution until you have achieved the correct consistency, okay? We're still sticking, so, okay? Okay. All right. Ooh, this is so, I like the glitter purple. It's fun. Okay. So we're stirring.
Brenda says she wants to make some with you.
I know. Okay, guys, see, you all thought it was just for the children.
Yeah,
it's not. So
that's why we gave you the ingredients.
Next week,
get your
or
ingredients.
sometime you're going to have to get the ingredients. We're going to have to do all this together.
Ooh, it's starting to do something.
Yeah.
Another teaspoon?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, the worst thing it can do is be a little bit too stretchy, right?
Yes. Okay.
There you go.
So I'm gonna.
That's a tablespoon.
Okay. You don't see it? How pretty the color is? Okay. I'm still stirring. What do you think?
I've never played with slime.
I like to play with slime, but
maybe it needs a little bit more.
Oh yeah, it's still completely yeah.
And like we said, we had to just kind of guess.
Okay. So how much would you say? How much have we put in so far?
That's 4 teaspoons.
4 teaspoons. And like I said, we didn't want to do it ahead of time because we kind of wanted to, be able to walk it through with you because that's what happens, as far as stuff happens and you're like, okay, what do I do about this? Okay,
it's starting to, okay.
I'm just gonna.
Well, and like I said, that recipe called for 3 tablespoons. So
okay, but this is not slimeable yet because this would be, it would be.
That would be messable.
Yeah, or you would be cleaning up slime for yikes.
We would not be your favorite people. Not that we are, but we would quickly lose any.
Okay, so I'm gonna stir some more. A bottle of contact solution. Wait,
Well, it says it could be 3 tablespoons, and we haven't even done 2 tablespoons.
Okay.
Yet. Refrigerator.
Our refrigerator makes weird noises too, so
Yeah, that's fine.
sometimes it sounds like somebody's trying to get out of it. So
Okay, this will be 2 tablespoons when we're done with it.
all right, so those of you that have watched this so far, we've been stirring it in kind of teaspoon at a time, the contact solution to the glue and the baking soda.
Brenda, it was 1 teaspoon of baking soda.
And do you think it needs more baking soda, or do you think it needs more of this stuff?
Well, this is definitely thickening it up. It's just slow. I'm gonna do.
Okay, we're doing more.
And I guess it's gonna take the whole 3 tablespoons. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do another one.
Okay.
We've got a teaspoon left of 3 tablespoons.
Okay.
It's definitely thickening up.
Yeah.
Isn't this like riveting?
Watching paint dry.
Riveting
watching glue dry.
television.
It's cool looking. I just don't know how.
It's still
maybe I
not.
have more. Yeah. Because again, yeah.
This would just run all over your table. I wonder what's in contact solution that makes it do that.
It's kind of scary. Like what that you're putting in your eyeballs. I don't know. It's weird to me. Add more contact solution. Okay. Because we have to get it to the consistency that we want, but then again, we're going to end up adding essential oils that could.
Oh, but only a few drops. It only
I
says
know.
4 to 6 drops.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. It's weird.
And you can still see how much contact solution is around the glue.
You mean it hasn't mixed in?
Right.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So you think maybe it just
Who
needs to be.
thought up slime anyway? And how did they discover it?
My guess
It's
is
kind of like
accident.
a cookie. Who was the first person that thought, let's put some flour and some butter and some milk and some baking whatever together and make a cookie?
Well, I say I don't know, but thank the Lord for them. Well, my guess is it came from like a cake. Like they were making a cake, and then they're like, "Oh, let's make
They didn't have enough
little
flour
cakes,
or
and then let's I don't know.
who knows.
Well, I'm glad they did because I like cookies.
Or bread. Who was the first person that thought to put the ingredients together and make bread? I don't think we can do too much of this, so let's just keep going.
All right, you want to check the stir this? You want to check the Play-Doh? Because we just and then want to go ahead and add. All right, I'm just going to keep stirring, guys, this slime and see if we can get it to become better, the consistency, because it's still super runny, and I'm afraid, look at that. I'm afraid that it will be a big mess. But what I'm thinking, for those of you that maybe haven't started this slime, I'm wondering about doing half. Do half of the bottle of glue, and then see what happens. And at least we could do it that way, because this is.
I wonder if the baking soda needs to be.
Yeah, I'm gonna add a little bit more baking soda.
How many?
We did. You did a half of a tablespoon, right? Okay. I'm gonna add some more. Except I don't have a.
And you wanted to do which flavors for that? I brought the Serenity out, right?
Yeah.
Citrus Blissons.
Okay. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more baking soda. And we'll see what happens. But Carol's over here. She's doing the adding the essential oils to the dough, Play-Doh. So we thought we would do 2 different ones. One would be more of a calming, maybe a nighttime Play-Doh that they could maybe play with, or that you can play with before you go to bed. So we decided to do Serenity in that one. and then a citrus oil in the other, which, did you do Citrus Bliss? We did Citrus Bliss. Carol and I both really love Citrus Bliss, so yes. Okay, so I'm adding more baking soda. I'm still stirring, so. Carol's playing with Play-Doh, I'm stirring slime. That's what we're doing.
This is what leadership in doTERRA.
That's what kind of day it's been. Oh. All right, guys. I don't know.
Well, we have to have one flop at everything, so. Does that seem thicker? Seems thinner?
Not necessarily thinner.
Should I
Just
try more contact solution?
probably. Ooh,
I'm just gonna squirt it in here.
Serenity. The bottom line is we're not going to know how much contact solution
Exactly.
is because we don't know. Oh, guys, it's kind of nice. Serenity.
Oh, look.
I know it does that, but then it never gets any thicker than that.
This is reminding me of the meringue I made on Saturday night.
Oh.
I had to do 2 batches of meringue because apparently I got some olive oil
And
on
now
the spoon
I'm
in the,
oh boy.
It
The
started-
meringue, you can't have any yet. Okay, so now we've got this. This is the Citrus Bliss, and it smells yummy. So we've got the Citrus Bliss Play-Doh. This feels really nice. This is like a great, really truly a great
it's
texture.
almost like a heavy pizza dough or
cookie dough.
yeah.
Hmm.
Except it's more pliable than cookie dough
Yeah.
typically would be.
Okay. There's Play-Doh. Turned out well. This is the Citrus Bliss. How many did you add? Drops?
I think there ended up being 6 of each.
Good. No. It looks pretty, this slime, but it just is not. Anybody got any ideas? I'm back to the Serenity. I'm gonna need this some more. So
There might be 6 cups of contact solution in this by the time we're done.
it's so strange. I don't know what. Anybody got any ideas? In the Play-Doh, when did we add the EO? We let after we made the dough, we separated it into 2 things to let it cool off a little bit. It's still a little bit warm, but not super warm. And then we just added it. So it's been about 20, what time is it? It's been about 30 minutes since we made it. It's because we made this first because we knew it had to cool. So that's what it looks like. It's really, guys, it's great. It really is a great texture. I'm gonna break it apart so you can see too, if you have more than one little so that they can have some stuff, or you need to just, there's something therapeutic. It's kind of like coloring. Something therapeutic about Play-Doh.
The only thing I don't like about it is it doesn't have the Play-Doh smell.
No, but it smells good. Serenity. And like I said, you could do whatever. You could add mint to it, and it would give you that, another kind of different smell. So like doing a citrus and a mint, those are always good. So, okay, I'm going to put the Play-Doh in their containers. So now we have the scrub that we did, and we have, I really am loving this, guys. It's fun. I wish you could smell. I just found a recipe. Diane said she found a recipe for the slime that says if it's too runny, add more baking powder. Okay, so we can just.
Does it call for baking powder or baking soda?
Oh yeah, we're using baking soda. Wouldn't that be something if it's supposed to be powder? I mean,
Soda. Okay.
soda. Okay, I was like, great, we're doing the wrong thing. Okay. So I would advise all of you in this day and age, make yourself some plate.
Yeah.
Because it's nice. Yeah. Okay. We have Serenity.
You could sit on your Zoom calls for work and
Yeah.
play with
And
your
then
Play-Doh.
again, knowing that, not that you would want to take a big bite of the Play-Doh, but if you did, there's nothing in it that's going to hurt anybody.
Well,
or do anything.
and you have kiddos. You don't know what they're going to stick in their mouth.
So, okay, we're still trying to get the slime, guys.
But we're not going to have any. We're not going to have any idea how much of anything is.
You're
in it.
just going to have to eyeball it. You're just going to have to go rogue and do your.
Oh, that's definitely getting thicker.
And like I said, if you're going to do this and you've got the bottle, I would start with just half of the
Yeah.
bottle and do that because that way maybe it can control it a little bit better. Hey, Felicia. Let's see. We're trying, let me tip it down so you all can see. We're making.
She's the one we should have consulted with. Felicia, have you ever made slime before?
What was it she said she made the other day? Play-Doh? Or was it slime?
I think it was Play-Doh.
Yeah, so I'm just tip that down so you all can see. We're trying to get the consistency of the slime, and it's not working very well. So that's why.
Well, it's better than it was, but
I know, but it's now it looks like frosting.
we're gonna have a huge. I know. I'm
Lavender frosting
and
that we're gonna. I know that we're gonna put on.
I don't advise that.
We can put some on our Play-Doh. I don't know. Anybody else got any ideas?
Well, it's thickening up using the baking soda, but I don't want to use a whole box of baking soda.
Listen, Denise now has said the boric acid in the contact solution reacts with the glue, creating the slime texture.
So if I have some just straight boric acid, let's try that.
You got some?
Uh-huh.
Well,
Here.
she got some.
Here, keep stirring.
Keep stirring. Well, maybe we should let it sit for a minute. Maybe that would help. So here I am watching the slime, guys. Carol just went to get the, which is what? What's in that? I thought this one would be the easy one. Still just not slimy enough. It's still too runny. Like if you all did this, it would be a nightmare. I would not even tell you to do this with the children because it would be a problem. So you're thinking it needs more contact solution. Anybody? Right?
Oh, we put so much contact solution in there?
Mm-hmm.
It's not even funny. Okay, so sodium tetraborate, a natural mineral.
She's got borax laundry detergent. Anybody think
It
that
says
would
it's
work?
detergent booster.
Oh yeah, I have that at my house too. I use it like.
What's it gonna hurt to try it?
Oh, here we go. Unless we create some poisonous cloud. Of
Yeah,
although
if we
nothing's
do,
poisonous.
Ashland's in the front room, so.
Yeah. Hey guys, if we like all of a sudden a green cloud comes and Carol and I pass out, would someone please message someone for us?
Should have
Oh, I wouldn't add that. She said I wouldn't add that. Okay.
Oh, okay.
She said okay. So more contact solution.
I don't know. We put
That's
a
Diane,
whole
right?
bunch of
I know.
contact solution.
I'm waiting. See what she says. Diane, what do you think?
That might be the problem. I put too much contact solution. We should have put more baking soda.
Any ideas? I mean, I could add more glue.
But then what are we going to do with all this?
I know. We're gonna slime something. I would not that. I don't think it would need. Okay, so we don't know what to add to it, guys.
I mean, it's thicker than it was, but it's not thick enough for kids to play with and not make a huge mess.
I realize I'm looking at Diane's or her words instead of looking up at her picture or her face. Any ideas?
You can unmute yourself if you have an idea.
Feel free. Anyone?
There's a recipe that says you gotta stick your hands and test it. If it's too sticky, add another squirt of contact solution.
Oh, I've got so much contact solution in here now that I'm sure that's part of the problem.
It says keep kneading until blended to your specified.
Yeah, there's no kneading of this. See, look, it's still like, what's that kind of frosting? Royal icing. It's like that consistency.
Well, don't know what else to do with it. But the Play-Doh turned out, the sugar scrub, the spray. For those of you that just joined us.
This is why we don't buy another brand of essential oils, because they don't have good slime recipes.
Oh, that's the one reason. We've been trying to make slime. And the consistency, we cannot get it to be the slime worthy. So we don't know what else to try. We put a ton of contact solution in it, which is what it said to do when it wasn't the right consistency.
I could put more baking soda in it because that seems to be what thickened it up some. But I don't know how much more baking soda we put in it.
Yeah, we could try. Oh, it today also. Interesting look. I bet that's actually, we ended up
Yeah.
getting the right amount. We're just trying some more soda to see. Add warm water to make it stretchier. Okay, we could try that too.
What wouldn't that be if it was too stiff?
Well, that's true. It's not stiff
Oh,
enough.
here, feel it. That you can feel the difference.
I think it's just because you've been stirring for 20 minutes. So it sure is pretty color, guys.
Yeah, it's getting lighter and lighter purple. Oh gosh.
Well, I'm moving these papers out of the way. Okay.
So you got all the Play-Doh done?
Yep, Play-Doh's done. Once again, turned out well. The Play-Doh. And we suggested, we did two different, we took the recipe for the Play-Doh and we just halved it. And we did one of the recipes.
No, we didn't have the recipe.
No, we halved the dough once it was done. And we did one of them with Serenity. We figured that was a good nighttime Play-Doh. And then we did one with Citrus Bliss. Because Carol and I both love Citrus Bliss. So we got a couple clumps in here, but see what you think of that.
I think I screwed it up by adding too much contact solution. I think we should have added more baking soda when we added more contact solution.
So what I think we'll do is we'll just put it out on some parchment paper and just see what happens. And see what happens after it sits. And then we'll let you know.
Because this is definitely thicker than it was, but it's still pretty runny.
Yeah. And we've lost all the glitter.
Well, no, there's still
I
some
guess there's
glitter
still
in there.
a little shimmer.
It's just not as bright purple. As dark purple as it was.
Yeah. So, well, that's what we know, guys.
Okay.
The slime didn't turn out so great, so we'll let it sit for a little bit and see. And we will try adding warm water if it looks like that's the route that it needs. At this point, I'm afraid it will make it so runny. So yeah. So
I found another big block of
Yeah.
baking soda. Okay.
So yep. So we have. I'm going to show you again before we go what we did, and then back to we had the sprays. Remember we were doing the
We lost Katie.
We did the room spray, or not the room spray, the nighttime spray. So we just had a spray bottle. You add whatever of the calming oils that you want, peace, lavender, patchouli was one that was suggested, Roman chamomile, 10 drops of each of those, and then you just fill the rest with water. You can spray the pillows, you can spray sheets, you can spray the child if you need to, or yourself, if that's what you're doing.
That might be the better option.
And then we did the sugar scrub, which smells yummy. And Carol has a coconut oil that really smells coconutty. So it has a strong smell of coconut. And then we did lemon and wild orange. Is that what we did? Yeah. And then we did the Play-Doh. So we did the recipe that we shared on here. It was one recipe. After we made the dough, separated it into two bits. One we did was Serenity, and one we did Citrus Bliss. So this was the Citrus Bliss. It really has a great texture. I'm like super, super excited about that. And then the other is the Serenity, which we thought would be like a nice nighttime smell. So hopefully you all had.
I have added
baking
more.
soda.
It's still pretty runny,
That's
but it's much.
That's
less
it over there,
runny.
more baking soda.
Yeah.
So yeah, that may be what we just keep adding baking soda. So yeah. So those of you know, we've been trying to do something kind of fun, lighthearted on Mondays. And so last Monday we did bingo, which was a huge hit. I don't think you can put too much in it at this point.
No, I don't either. Except that
Bingo
I'd like
was
to have some
lots
baking
of
soda
fun.
left.
Lots of fun. Lots of people messaged me afterwards and said they had missed it. And I said, okay, we'll do it again. Carol and I are also trying to come up with an idea of something to do, almost like a game show, Family Feud type of a thing. So we're still trying to figure that out. Carol had some fun games this weekend for those of you on Team Holtz, if you participated in the couple of Easter games that she had. Those were fun. So that's what we've been doing on Mondays. We did a cooking one a couple weeks ago. Next Monday night, we're doing, we're talking about the Enneagram, possibly love languages, and just kind of something to help us in this time frame to love each other better and maybe understand each other better. So that will be next Monday. This Thursday, we're going to have our thing, and we're going to talk about doTERRA's adaptive line. And so we actually today just started a leadership. They're doing it for those of you that maybe went ahead and purchased that possibility or that the ability to watch that. That started today. There'll be another session on Friday. And then next week we don't have either. And then the week after it's Monday and Friday again. But today I got to watch a breakout session from Dr. Hill on adaptive that was incredible. And I will tell you that in and of itself is worth the $20
Absolutely.
just to hear Dr. Hill talk about it, why they created it the way that they did. And he does an excellent job of an excellent job of making science understandable and really speaking very knowledgeably and very scientifically, but very much easy to understand. So just that about the adaptive line is amazing to see why it works and why it's so important to utilize that. So it's very interesting. But that was today. So on Thursday, we'll talk a little bit more about the adaptive line. We did, right after convention, we had a 2-week adaptive challenge where people were utilizing that and kind of getting on and sharing that. So we'll utilize some of that information. But that is on Thursday. We're going to talk about adaptive. You getting better at all?
It is, but it's going to take a whole lot more baking soda.
Okay. What I may do is I have a
What we
huge,
should have done is dump some of this out.
and then done it that one. Yeah. I have a huge bag of baking soda at home
Okay.
because a cousin of mine works for a company that, anyway,
I'll
and
send
so
this home.
I'll take it home and see if I can work on it and make it better, and then I'll show you all.
Because again, it's definitely becoming thicker.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yes. So we'll see if we can work on that. So that is what's going on this week with Team Holt. Stay tuned. You know, we post during the week, different stuff going on. We've got some other things going on that we will be sharing with you all. So
Brenda asked, how much baking soda did you add? I think I've added about half a box at this point.
yeah,
So my mistake was adding more
contact
contact
solution. Yeah,
solution. And I should have added more baking soda.
baking soda.
And we haven't put any oils in that either.
oh yeah,
so
there's no
there's
oil
no
in it yet,
scent
so
to
it's just the just the glue and the stuff. So
Yeah.
anyway, anybody else have anything? Anything going on? Questions? Anything? Before we get off, I didn't want to. I tend to just jump off, and then I'm like, oh, I probably should have asked that.
See any other questions?
Okay. Alrighty.
All
Well,
right.
it's good to see you all tonight, and we had fun, although I don't know how fun for you all to watch, but we'll see if we can get this line figured out, and then if we do, I'll do a Facebook Live and show you that we got it fixed and well.
If you take the time to make any of these recipes, go ahead and give us a picture. Tell us what
Yeah.
scents you used or whatever.
Yeah.
So that'd be fun.
And we're gonna go play with our Play-Doh.
Yeah. We will see you soon.
Good to see you guys. Can you reach from there? Have a good night.